Don't it can't.
It never stops. Is my audio okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Good. Yes, yes, yes. We
Okay.
just went live on YouTube. We're on Facebook. I appreciate everybody joining. This is episode 6 of the Driving Me Sane show. I got a very special guest with me. I got Shawnti. How do you pronounce your last name, Shawnti? How you pronounce it?
Refuge.
Refuge. Shawnti Refuge. And from what I read, you're a mental health coach and the author of a book. I don't know of a book or multiple books, but I know you're author of a book, Quiet as Kept.
Yes.
So you are an author, a published author. Tell
Yes.
me this. There's a lot of people who want to write books, and we should want to write books, right? Especially
Right.
if they're about real life things that can educate people. And from what I saw here, your book is about your life.
Yes.
I want to read one quote from the book, if I may.
Go ahead.
I'm going to read one quote from the book. And what I read was, let's see if I can actually share this so I can read it right from the screen. Where is it at? Here we go. Actually, let me just read it from you. You were talking about, it was a quote on your page, and it was about your life.
Mm-hmm.
You read that. Because I thought this was interesting, because I think you have to be real vulnerable to be able to put your life in the book. But before I go, but I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to the quote. Talk about the book. I'm gonna let you just talk about the book.
Okay. Well, I did not set out to write a book. Let me just say that. But I had to, because it talks about my history, basically, from my earliest remembrance of childhood up until the year 2018. So I go through everything. I don't filter nothing. It is raw and unapologetic. Everything, the things that were done to me, the things I did to people, all of that. Up until I had a nervous breakdown in 2018. And from there, I talk about how I overcame my diagnosis of severe anxiety and depression. So that's what the book is about. And I wrote it uh, to help other people going through the same thing. Because a lot of times when we're doing stuff or we've been through things, we always feel like we are the only ones. Because I felt like I was the only one going through all that stuff, even the stuff I caused myself. Like, I felt like I deserved to be punished for the stuff I did. And in actuality, you can only punish yourself for so long before it's okay. It's time to heal. It's time to get over this. That's your past. You can't fix it. You can't change it. All you could do is move forward and be a better person. So that's what the book is about. And that came on the heels. That came on the heels of me writing, making guided journals. That's how I initially started my business, doing guided journals. And it was from
I want to get to the journaling. I definitely want to, because I know I saw you talk a lot about journaling on your page. Just for people to get another little some more insight on the book, here's a quote, and this is on your social media page.
Yeah.
I was told by the boy who I had sex with that this is the best way to show someone that you love them. In other words, if you love me, then prove it by having sex with me. My young, naive ass believed him. I mean, why not? I didn't have a man in my life to tell me any different. I thought this was how it was supposed to be. It takes a lot to be able to put this out there, but you knew that if you went through it, other people went through it.
Yeah, and guess how old I was?
I was just gonna ask you that because I see in the picture you were young. So
I was 12. I was 12.
Wow.
Yep. I was in the 6th grade, 12. And the person, not you drinking my drink. Come on now. Come on. Not you drinking my drink. Not you drinking my drink. Come on now.
Yeah, we gotta stay protein up.
But yeah, I was 12 in the 6th grade. Yep. And I lost my virginity at a public park restroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a mental health coach. Usually we do something that we're inspired to do, and sometimes it could be from traumatic experiences in all kind of different ways. It sounds like this was probably one of the reasons why you wanted to become a mental health coach, because you know what something like this can do on you mentally. Tell me this. How did you think that you would be working with individuals, or did you think that you was your goal to work with individuals who've been through things that you've been through, or were you just wanting to work with anybody who's been through anything?
I did not intend on going into business at all. That was not my agenda. All I was trying to do was help myself. That's all I was trying to do. But in that process of helping myself, I got this revelation that, okay, especially at the end when I started feeling better and realized, okay, this is working. This journaling stuff is working.
Right.
That's when I got the revelation that, okay, somebody else needs this. Somebody else might feel the way you feel, don't want to be put on medication. Because, when I initially went to go get help for whatever what was wrong with me, I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. I just know I was acting crazy. They wanted to give me meds and I didn't want no meds. So I said, okay, I can't be the only one who feel like this. Somebody else out there, going through the same stuff or similar and don't want medication because that's like almost a lifelong thing if you get on medication. And I know I didn't want that. So that's what prompted me to start helping. And I wouldn't even intend on working with people. All I intended on doing was making my journals and selling those. And that's it. But it ballooned from there.
That's very interesting. So you brought up something where I know it probably has impacted a lot of people, the medication.
Hmm.
The medication. So through your experience, I mean, is it ever needed?
It is for some people. I am not against medication. I just knew that I did not want that to be my story. Now, there are some people who do need medication. Please go take your medication. And some people don't understand, you know, you can take medication and still get help for whatever it is you're going through. You can. Nothing wrong with it. But that wasn't my story. I didn't want to be on meds because when I thought about being on medication, I thought about me having a handful of pills in one hand and me drinking wine with the other one. And that's what I pictured. I said, I don't want to be no old ass woman with pills in my hand and a wine glass in the other one. I said, no, that can't be me. That's not gonna be me. And I didn't let it be me.
So let's talk about your profession and what you do and how it works because I know a lot of people we're our personal life is our personal life. We don't really like to be truthful about it. Even the
Right.
people that talk about it, they not even all the way being truthful about it. And you're wanting to provide a space where they can come to you with pretty much anything and be able to come to you and talk to you as that mental health coach to bring the best out of them. How has that worked? Have you gotten people who don't really want to provide you with it, don't really want to tell you the truth? Have you had issues being able to find clients? Tell me how you are able to even get people to open up about those issues that they're having personally.
Because I tell my business. Like you ask me anything, I'm gonna answer it. I voluntarily say yes. I used to do this. I used to do that. I did this. I've been here. I used to mess with this one, this one, this one, this one. I put it out there, so that makes my clients comfortable to come and say, "Hey, girl, I did." Like I had a client admit to, well, a potential client that she's gonna be my client. She don't know it yet, but she came to me and that she fell in love with two men. Okay. I've been there too, sis, except for mine was with two women. That
Okay.
makes them feel comfortable.
Right. Right. So as a mental health coach, I didn't know why. Are you a business coach as well, or
No. Strictly
just
mental health. I'm sorry, my light is acting weird. So
no, you
no,
good.
I don't do business. I know all I do is mental health.
Mental
Mental.
health. Okay.
That is
What could somebody who's coming to you for the first or somebody, yeah, when you have your first client, what do you find your clients at in their life when you first talk to them?
stuck. They're stuck. They're exactly where I was, stuck and don't know where to go. I'm sorry. Hold on. My background is, let me
Okay.
get rid of this. What's wrong? Hold on. Let me do something right quick. Okay. They'd be stuck. They're stuck. They're stuck either in a dead end job, their kids getting on their nerves and they don't know what to do with them. They stuck in a relationship they don't want to be in but scared to leave. They're stuck in every sense of the word, stuck, and they don't know how. They don't have the courage to get out.
And when they come to you, what are you typically able to help them do? What process do you usually try to get them to go through?
First of all, they got to admit. They have to admit to themselves whatever it is going on. They have to admit it. They have to be accountable, hold themselves accountable. I'm a whole ass accountable, but they have to hold themselves accountable too. And that's the hardest part, to get someone to admit, yeah, I wasn't shit back then, or yeah, I did this person wrong. But you have to. You have to own your stuff, or you ain't gonna ever heal from it. And a lot of times people try to forget, because it was years ago. Oh, that was 30 years ago. That don't matter. It really don't. It's still sitting with you. And until you get that off you, off your chest, off your mind, it's gonna stay with you. So that's the hard part, getting the person to admit.
When you talk about mental health, for me, honestly, and I don't know about you, but for me, I would find it hard to not be spiritual at the same time, and talk about religion in some kind of way. But I don't know if that's something you do in your profession. How do you go about that part of it, as far as mixing, religion with your job? Is that, do you ever cross lines? How does that work?
I don't want to say luckily, but with blessings, I have not encountered anyone who didn't believe in God. And they know I believe in God. I make that known. Yeah, I might cuss and all little other stuff, but I believe in God. So I don't worship nothing or nobody else. But I don't invite that in. I let the client tell me. Like if they say, "Would you pray for me?" or "Can we pray?" Absolutely, yeah. But other than that, no, I don't push anything on anybody. You can believe in what you want to believe in. I'm just here to get you feeling better than you did before you came to me. That is my ultimate goal.
Do you have kind of like when you're as a mental health client, how do you go about finding clients, or do people usually come and contact you with different issues and things like that?
They come to me.
Okay.
I don't chase, I attract.
Okay. I got you. I got you. I know you have a program, that the course, if I'm correct, that you sell as well. Is this an in-person course, an online course?
I do probably 90% online as far as courses. I just started launching my self-paced course, where everything is pre-done and the person goes in at their own pace. I found a lot of people like to do it that way. I have a few people that want me one-on-one. That is great too. Anytime I do anything in person, it is going to be a journaling workshop where
Okay.
we have something themed, and we, talk about that, laugh, cry, cuss, and all that stuff. And they end up being my client afterwards.
Pretty much, right? Pretty much. Let's talk about journaling.
Okay.
I know a lot of people, that phrase, you don't hear it that often, but I wonder if it's because people don't really know they're journaling. So I want you to explain, what is journaling? Is it diary, or is it writing anything down?
So when I initially got introduced to journaling, and immediately my mind went to diary. And I'm telling my therapist, man, I ain't trying to keep no diary. That's white people shit. We don't do stuff like that. That's what I thought I did.
Right.
And and my therapist is Black, and she had to tell me, no, a diary is when you are telling a story, and it's just surface level. But when you're keeping a journal, you are writing down everything: thoughts, feelings, actions, characters, the whole nine. But see, me, I do guided journaling. Guided journaling is basically, I'm giving you journal prompts to answer. That way you don't have to think too hard. So let's say you come to me and say, okay, I'm having issues with self-esteem. You're about to get a million self-esteem journal prompts.
Okay.
And all you have to do is answer them. And that when I found a lot of time, I even found it with myself, that when you answer prompts, the words just come on paper like that. You don't have to think about anything. You see the question, answer it. All you have to do is just be honest. As long as you're honest, it's gonna come out.
That's interesting. And so would you consider somebody who is writing down what they have to do for the day
Yes, that's
every day? They
journaling.
do, is that journaling?
Yes, it is.
So
Making a
this could be
grocery list
something that
is
can help you
journaling.
just more productive in life.
Yes. People do it and don't realize they're doing it. Grocery lists, making lists, a gift list, to-do list, honey-do list, journaling.
I think you can argue that the most productive people journal.
Yeah, they do. The rich ones anyway. Mhm.
Just the beauty of writing things down and checking them off
Yes.
is
That's
yeah,
how
that's powerful.
that's how you get goals accomplished. You can have goals in your head all day long, but how are you going to track them? How are you going to measure them? What are you going to compare them against? If they in your brain, you beat and forgot about it. That's why you got to write it down and
If
go
you're
back and
serious
look.
about it,
Yeah, if you say that again, if you are
if you're
serious.
serious
Yeah.
about it, how do
Mhm.
you get people to because sure they can invest, and you would think that everybody who invests in something takes it seriously, but we know that's not necessarily the truth.
Nope.
And as a coach, I'm sure, and I don't know your mindset, but what is your mindset? Do you care if the end result is good? If they don't follow the program, do you care if they, you know what I mean? If somebody doesn't follow the program and doesn't get the results, how do you respond to that? Do you how do you kind of respond to that? I'm kind of talking about that scenario.
I've
If
never
it's
had
ever
that happen. However, in the event that it does, I can guarantee you that I gave my all to that client. I gave her everything she needed. She didn't do the work. Because a lot of times we want quick fixes. And I make it clear up front, this is not a quick fix. This ain't gonna happen overnight. It might happen in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5. It depends on you. But if you spend your money, because you're gonna spend some money, I'm not cheap. If you spend your money to invest in healing through guided journaling, you better be ready to do the work. Because otherwise, you've wasted your time, my time, and your money that you're not getting back.
That's definitely true. I know one thing when it comes to mental health, and this is a mental health podcast. And I know you probably hear this a lot, but I want to hear what your thoughts are. How often are relationships the cause of mental illness?
Oh, child, probably 80%. And all of it, it boils down to communication or lack thereof. That's all it is. Somebody is not communicating like they supposed to be. They aren't telling the truth. Like, when you ask, hey, baby, what's wrong? Oh, nothing ain't wrong. They lying, you know, instead of just saying, hey, I don't like how you did this, because they want to avoid an argument. No, you got to
Can we
communicate.
be real? Communication issues is a respect issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, come on, people.
I mean, as long as you are being respectful when you communicate, then yeah. But if you just flying off at the mouth and saying any kind of thing, then
Or the lack of community, like the people who have a quote unquote issue with not communicating. I mean, I'm not going
Mhm.
to say anything is set in stone, but I really feel like most people know how to communicate and when they should communicate. And the lack of communication is a lot of times what gets people. It is that aggression sometimes, but sometimes it's just people. Some dude just refuses to communicate, or some woman may think they're too good to communicate. I don't need to keep you updated, or whatever it may be. It's a pride thing sometimes.
Sometimes they don't know how to communicate.
Okay.
So they mask it with the anger and the attitude because they don't know how to communicate. Because they don't want to come off as being vulnerable or weak, pride, ego, all that good stuff. That gets in the way of a person being able to communicate fully. And I see that more with women, with men too, but more with women.
I think that's a lot of times why people end up wanting to be single is they don't want to communicate with anybody, and
Yeah.
they've accepted it.
They just do what they want to do and keep it moving. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But communication is a part of life. You got to communicate.
That's
You
what I
got
think.
to.
That's what I think. I mean, just to get a little biblical, I mean, there's a reason why one of the first chapters you have God trying to find a companion for Adam. I mean, we kind of are made for you to be, we ain't really made to be alone.
No, we're not made to be alone. We're not.
And God, I don't think God wants us to be alone.
No, he does not. And if he did, there wouldn't be 8 billion people on this planet right now. So,
That is true
yeah,
because He has
we're
to
not
bless
meant
every
to be
single one.
alone. Yeah, there's somebody out there for everyone. And it doesn't, not necessarily just romantic relationships, but friendships. There's a lot of women who, oh, I don't make friends, and that used to be me. I wouldn't dare be a friend with a woman because I found that women did not like me. Men love me, because the way I talk just like them. So, so they love that. But go ahead and ask.
I mean, I want to know why do why do women find? I mean, why? I know that's not the fact for everybody, of course, but why did that come across for you that you can't really be friends with women?
That was past tense. I can now, but back then I chalked it up to because they were intimidated by me for whatever reason. They were intimidated, whether it was my confidence or my self-esteem or they man wanted me. I'm just being real. That don't mean I wanted them, but
Right. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. No, yeah, I think relationships is big. It's a big part. So a lot. I'm sure you have to talk a lot about relationships and things like that. So when it comes to mental health, you talk a lot about journaling,
mhm,
right? You talk a lot about journaling and things like that. How do you hold people accountable?
they get homework. And if you come back to my session without your homework done, we're not meeting until you do your homework. I'm very serious about that. Journaling saved my life. That's how serious I am about it. And when I say journaling saved my life, meaning the way I used to be, somebody would have been and ended me, or I'd be in jail somewhere if it had not been for God, of course, and journaling and my therapist. So I take it very seriously. So if you show up to a session without your homework being done, because we're going to talk about your homework.
Right.
That's the point. And if you come, oh, the dog ate my homework, or I didn't have enough time, I want to hear that shit. So we're not meeting. That's only happened once, by the way.
Right. Right. And Shawnti, do you work with any men?
I have worked with 2 men.
How did that go?
It went well.
Okay.
They wanted to work with me to get a female perspective on them, and I gave it to them.
Yeah, boy.
I don't discriminate. My preference is women, but I'll talk to anybody who needs this. I'm talking to you because I think everybody needs it, but everybody isn't receptive to it.
Why should a man? Because I feel like men, there's this stigma that men just don't want to talk to anybody, right? They would rather just keep everything in. And you've had 2 male clients. I'm sure you've had
Mhm.
way more female clients,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think overall men just don't seek that kind of help in general. But that's not good, right? We want men to be able to seek the help. If it helps, it then help everybody, right? How can we get more men to come talk to you, Shawnti? What, to talk to anybody who can help them?
Well, you can start with me, and I'll send. If you don't want to talk to me because I'm a lady, I will send you to some men. I
Right.
know men. I know men coaches. I know men therapists. I have a network of people, and we refer. When I feel like I can, if I didn't talk to you and I feel like I can't help you, let me get you to somebody who could better assist you, and we go from there. But men, women, everybody needs to have some type of support system
Mhm.
to help them to heal and to, because I know for men especially, they have been raised to don't show emotions or you're gonna be weak. You gotta be strong. You gotta be this. You gotta be that. Women too. And that might have worked back then, back in them days, but we're in a whole new age, a whole new era that don't fly no more. We want our men, we want our women to talk, say what's on your mind, say what you feel, and not act
Yeah.
out like a kindergartner, while
Right.
some are doing.
Right. Right. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, man. I think. I mean, look, men. If you need help, you got to seek it. If you need help, you got to seek it. You definitely can't hold it in, and you definitely cannot surround yourself with a bunch of people who just want to, who think just like you,
Oh
or
Lord,
who
say
only is
that.
going to agree with you, because that ain't helping either. I am a believer that you can talk. It's about communicating and talking, but you got to have good people around you, though. People who not gonna
Absolutely.
just say, yeah, that's okay, or because they know you may get mad or whatever, or you may get sad or you may get emotional, or they just don't want to hurt your feeling, whatever it is. That's not helping nobody either.
Nope,
That's not helping
no,
you.
it's not. That is
You know,
not.
you need to talk to somebody. I want to talk about something that impacts everybody, and when it comes to mental health, it's more of a worry for me. I don't know how realistic it is, but I feel like artificial intelligence, if you're not mentally stable and you're not ready for what's to come, I think it's going to impact a lot of people mentally, because it's going to take a lot of jobs, if not has already taken a lot of jobs. Which is why I think I'm a big believer in you need to create something, right? You need to be able to create something for yourself. That way you're not relying on any business paying you to be able to do anything, because that business, let's just be honest, they're going to be able to replace a lot more people in the next 5 to 10 years.
Absolutely.
So this is just facts, and this is what's coming. What can we do about this? What should people prepare for, to make sure mentally they're okay for what's to come?
First of all, get ready so you don't have to, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Learn, learn, be forever learning something. Learn something. If you want to go into business for yourself, do that. Stop being scared to do that. But learn, take a class, take a course, get in something, enroll in something, somebody, something. You have to forever be learning. Learn AI, learn it. Shoot.
What I mean, if you're not using Chat GPT or some kind of AI at this point in 2024, or have at least tried it, you really behind. You really
Right,
behind.
right.
You
So
really
just
behind.
imagine how it's gonna happen in the next few years. Just imagine. And
I mean, they
you don't want to be stuck in 2024 and we in 2027. You definitely ain't going nowhere. You have to be open and willing. You have to be. You can't with the closed mindedness and all of that. You got to stop that. You have to be open and ready and willing.
And if you're that close-minded, let's just call it what it is. It's probably a generational thing. It's probably was passed. You
There
know,
you go.
it was
Yep.
something that you didn't. As a child, you probably didn't know no better, right? Learn no better, and now you just have that mindset of, okay, I mean, this is just what it is. You know, I would just stay this path. We got to get people out of that.
Yeah, and that's my mission. That is my mission because what was good for our mamas and daddies and our grandmothers and grandfathers, that don't fly with us no more. That don't fly with us. So, we've had to, you know, we're done bearing their burdens. They did the best they could with what they had. But what we have right now, we could go so far if people just be willing to open their minds and quit closing it. You open your mind to bullshit, but you don't want to open your mind up to something that'll make you better. You know,
It's crazy how that work, huh? It's crazy
right?
how that work. It's
People
crazy how
want
that work.
temporary pleasure, temporary highs. No, I'm in this thing forever, forever, ever.
That's why I don't understand people anybody who can look down on anybody who tries to do their own thing. Be it start a business, be it what you call you consider yourself a entrepreneur, right? Business
Absolutely.
entrepreneur. What I mean, what does it really? Because there's people who are thinking about it. There's people who are going to be watching this show thinking about it. I'm sure you got a lot of people who are in your audience who are thinking about starting a business. What does it really take to not just start a business, make it successful, maintain the business, and keep going.
Woo, baby, it takes blood, sweat, tears, a lot of tears, a lot of fuck this, I quit. But the thing is, don't try to start it by yourself. You do not know everything. Get you somebody who has been there and done that so they can show you how to do it. Don't get with your homegirl who ain't never started a business before and y'all gonna think y'all gonna do it together. No. Mm-mm. You go find you someone who has done it so they can tell you the right way to do it. Like, why would you want to do all the hard work that you don't have to do if you just went and found somebody who did it already, who can show you? Yeah, you're gonna pay for that. That ain't free, but you know.
But Shawnti and Donovan, I don't have $5,000. Yeah, BS.
Yeah, you
They
got
take
it.
financing. They take credit.
Yeah, flexible payment.
You got 5,000. The question is, the issue is, you don't see how you gonna get that 5,000 back, and you scared.
Yep, that fear. There it is. Yeah, it's fear. You know, when I started my business in 2021, I used the stimulus check that we got. That's what I used to start my business. Instead of going by Louis or whatever was out and around that $1,200 back then, because it ain't now. But you know, I chose to invest. I said, okay, I'm just gonna start my business then. You can do it. There's you find a way to do everything else. You find a way, all that money you spending on Starbucks every day, all that money you spending on going out.
Don't hurt no feelings now. I know that. Don't hurt no feelings. The ladies love the Starbucks.
I'm telling the truth. It's the truth. You know, we spend money on what we want to spend money on. And you should want to invest in yourself. Invest in your mental health, invest in starting your own business. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. You know, the people that you see online that it looked like it was an overnight thing, that was years in the making. Years in the making. You have to be willing to bet on yourself. And you have to believe in yourself and whatever it is that you're going into business for. If you don't believe in yourself, who else going to believe in you?
There's too many success stories out there.
Absolutely.
Not think that, you know, it's just too many stories. Too many stories out there. You know, but I know one thing, every single story, there's hard work and dedication. Every single one.
Absolutely.
I think, Shawnti, a lot of people, and we probably was the same. I know I was the same way. We really do underestimate what it, and I'm still today. Sometimes you underestimate what it really does take, because let's just call it what it is. When you starting off, you don't have a team of people.
No, this is you.
So you're having to do everything, and your challenge is to keep up with the people who have teams with them, the companies who have teams with them, and it's hard. Which means, guess what? You can't work 8-hour days. You basically got to work 16-hour days sometimes.
Yeah. When you have I'm here to tell you, yes, it is not 8 hours a day. Sometimes it's 24 hours, you know, especially when you're first starting off. I remember when I first started, oh my God, I don't think I slept, you know, because I was trying to do it by myself. That's what it was, until I said, okay, I need some help. I can't do this. I don't know what this is. You know, you can only Google and YouTube University so much, because that's the first place people want to go to learn how to do something. Yeah, they give you some information, but they don't give it all to you. And I had to learn that. So you eventually are going to have to, you know, get a coach or outsource some stuff.
Here's what you can learn on YouTube if you haven't learned it. But simple, I'm not breaking news with this, right? That $5,000 that you're scared to spend, you're going to make that back so fast, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
If you get it right now. If you have to get it right, though. I mean, the $5,000, you still have to have it right, but you're going to get with somebody who knows what to do. You're not going to spend that $5,000 on anybody. You ain't going to spend that $5,000 on a cousin. You're going to spend that $5,000 on somebody that you've done a lot of research on, watched a lot of videos, done some testimonials. So you don't know what you're getting. So feel confident about that, but you still got to do the work. They're not going to do everything for you, because that's going to cost $45,000.
Okay, that's 50,000 or upwards. Yeah.
So talking about that work, how do you do it where it feels like it's not work? Because that's ultimately what you want, right? We okay grinding and hustling, We just don't want it to feel like work. You know what I mean?
It stopped feeling like work for me when I started doing speaking engagements. Because initially I was just doing guided journals. I would go to events and vend, and I'd be at my table. That felt like work. But when I was voluntold to get on stage and tell my story after I cried, that was my first time speaking, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna sit up and tell these people my business. But after I did that, I was like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So, it don't feel like work to me no more. I love what I do. This is not work. And that's why when you ask me how do I get clients, they come to me.
Right.
Because I quit chasing. I used to chase, try to make people buy my journal. But I ain't making you do nothing.
Right.
If you want it, you're going to come get it. And if not, stay stuck.
Right. And the only way you're going to find about it is if I'm doing what I love to do anyway.
Exactly.
Right? So
You froze up. I can't hear you.
there we go. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yes. Like, oh my God, you're frozen.
I'm not sure what happened. But anyways, let's go. So I want to talk about, you talked about something getting, when you first started doing speaking engagements and you cried, you had to get out of your comfort zone.
Hell yeah, because I intended on going, sit at my table and sell my journals like I've been doing. But at this event I was at, one of the speakers didn't show. And the host was ready to get started. So she came to my table and she was like, you ready to talk? And I'm like, no. And then she said, I need you to talk. And so I went to the bathroom and I cried. I called my best friend. I said, girl, they're trying to make me talk. I ain't ready to talk. I can't. I had a panic attack. When I say I had a panic attack. And all she said was, bitch, if you don't get off my phone and go talk. And that's what I did. She's like, you know what you're doing. Just get up there and talk. And I did. And after that, I was like, yeah, I could do this. And I've been doing it ever since. And so it started off from journaling to talking, and from talking to doing workshops, to coaching. Now I do all of them.
Now you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do everything. Now that comfort zone it's crazy because you hear it a lot, especially if you're an athlete. Coaches say it a lot because obviously most people are uncomfortable when it comes to pushing themselves to a place they've never been, right? So when it comes to this entrepreneurship stuff, you're going to be doing things that you've never done. You're not used to staying up at 12 a.m. creating content or editing content, but guess what? You're probably going to have to do that, especially if you have a podcast and you need to push out as much content as the top podcast. You got to push out content, or you're going to pay somebody hundreds of dollars, right? So you gotta, if you want to be a fitness person or whatever it is, you're going to put your body through things it probably never has been through, right? So that whole comfort zone thing is really, really important if you're trying to get to a certain place. So it's good to hear that it took that for you to find what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it takes that for a lot of people. Do you find yourself helping a lot of people when you're what doing following up?
Ask me that one more time because it was chopped and screwed. Say that again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you find yourself having to help a lot of people get out of their comfort zone?
Absolutely. Because number one, they don't want to come to no coach. Because, you feel like you're going to somebody for help. I'm going to go to a stranger to help me with yes. And there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, they're very uncomfortable, but I make people comfortable.
Look, Shawnti, I want to look. I appreciate you joining me. I want to wrap up with just giving out anything that you want to give on your business. If you want to, promote your business. I know you have a workshop. I want to end on that. What do you have to kind of tell the people that's watching?
Well, first of all, I need y'all to sign up to my newsletter. Go to ShawntiRefuge.com. And from there, you're going to I send out weekly journal prompts to get people started. I'm not in your inbox trying to sell you stuff every 5 minutes. I don't do that because I don't like it being done to me. So you might get an email from me once or twice a week. But most of the time it's going to be journal prompts and what we working on this week. And, I talk back is really me. I don't have anybody in the background responding to my emails. No, it's me. It's always going to be me. And follow me online. I'm on everything. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, LinkedIn, YouTube. Subscribe to my channel and, get to know me and get to see, you'll see how guided journaling transforms. And I do have my coaching program that's starting in January. It's called Staying Stuck Ain't Cute. And that's coming out in January. I started every January and I only take a limited amount of people. And we work one-on-one and I'm going to get you unstuck.
That sounds good because that definitely is not cute. Don't nobody, a man or woman, don't nobody like anybody that's stuck. That is not cute. Two stuck people don't look good either.
No, they don't. No, they do not.
I appreciate Shawnti, Refuge, Master Certified Mental Health Coach. Make sure you go follow her. Shawnti, I know you had just came from a live coaching your clients, your audience, straight to the Driving Me Sane show. I appreciate you putting in that work to try to change the world and do your part. I appreciate it. You have a great rest of your evening, all right?
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. Later.
Is somebody is people